7 Lessons from Lord Jesus that can change your life today. 2,000 years ago, a man walked the dusty roads of a small, forgotten land. He owned nothing. He had no army, no wealth, no palace. And yet, today, billions of people across every corner of this earth still whisper his name in their darkest hours. His name was Jesus. Not just a religious figure, but perhaps the greatest teacher of life that ever walked this planet. And in the next 15 minutes, I am going to share with you 7 lessons from his life. Lessons so powerful, so timeless, that even people who have never opened a Bible in their life, use them every single day, without even knowing where they came from. These are not just religious lessons. These are lessons on how to forgive people who hurt you. How to stay calm when the whole world turns against you. How to love people who don't deserve it. And how to find peace, even when your life feels like it's falling apart. So if you are going through a hard time right now, if you feel tired, broken, or alone, I want you to stay with me till the very end of this video. Because lesson number 7 is the one that changes everything. Let's begin. Lesson 1, the power of forgiveness. The first lesson is forgiveness. Think about this for a moment. Jesus was beaten, mocked, spat on, and nailed to a cross by the very people he came to save. And in that moment of unimaginable pain, he did not curse them. He did not call for revenge. Instead, he looked up and said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Let that sink in for a second. The man who had every right to hate, chose love instead. Now think about your own life. How many people are you still angry at? A friend who betrayed you, a partner who broke your heart, a family member who never apologized. We carry these wounds like heavy stones in our chest, year after year. And we think holding on to anger punishes them. But it doesn't. It only punishes us. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was okay. Forgiveness is saying, I refuse to let this pain control my future. When you forgive someone, you are not doing it for them. You are setting yourself free. Lesson 2, true strength is quiet, not loud. The second lesson Jesus teaches us is that real strength doesn't need to shout. In a world that constantly tells us to fight back, prove ourselves, and defend our pride, Jesus showed a completely different kind of power. When he was falsely accused in front of Pilate, he stayed silent. He didn't argue. He didn't beg. He didn't try to convince anyone of his innocence. Because true strength doesn't need validation from people who have already decided not to understand you. Think about how much energy we waste today, trying to prove our worth to people who will never appreciate us. Arguing with strangers online, defending ourselves to people who were never going to listen anyway. Jesus teaches us something different. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply walk away in peace. Silence is not weakness. Silence, at the right moment, is one of the strongest things a human being can do. Lesson 3, serve others without expecting anything back. The third lesson is about service. There's a beautiful moment in the Bible where Jesus, the Son of God himself, knelt down and washed the feet of his own disciples. Think about that. The most powerful being to ever walk this earth, got on his knees to clean the dirty feet of ordinary fishermen. Why would he do that? Because Jesus wanted to teach us that true greatness is not about being served. True greatness is about serving others. In today's world, we are taught the opposite. We are taught to build our image, to show off our success, to always ask, what's in it for me? But real fulfillment, real peace, comes from a completely different place. It comes from helping someone who can never repay you. It comes from being kind to a stranger who will never know your name. It comes from lifting someone up, simply because you can. The next time you help someone, don't do it for likes, for recognition, or for a thank you. Do it quietly. Do it because it's who you are. That is the heart of true greatness. Lesson 4: Do not judge others too quickly. The fourth lesson is one we all need to hear. Judge not, that ye be not judged. We live in a world obsessed with judgment. We judge people by their clothes, their mistakes, their past, their social media posts. We form opinions about people in seconds, without knowing a single thing about the battles they are fighting inside. Jesus constantly surrounded himself with the people society had already judged and thrown away. Tax collectors, sinners, the sick, the outcasts. While religious leaders looked down on them, Jesus sat beside them, ate with them, and loved them. Because he understood something we often forget. Every person you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. That coworker who seems rude. Maybe they didn't sleep last night because they're worried about their sick parent. That friend who canceled plans again. Maybe they're silently struggling with something they haven't told anyone. Before you judge someone today, pause and remind yourself, you are only seeing one page of their story, not the whole book. Lesson 5: Faith over fear. The fifth lesson is about fear. There's a powerful story where Jesus and his disciples are in a boat. And suddenly, a massive storm hits. The waves are crashing. The wind is roaring. The disciples, grown men, experienced fishermen, are terrified, convinced they are going to die. And where is Jesus? Sleeping. Calmly, peacefully, sleeping through the storm. When they wake him in panic, he simply says, "Why are you afraid? Where is your faith?" Then he stands up and calms the storm with just his words. Now here is the deeper lesson. Storms in life are inevitable. Loss, failure, heartbreak, uncertainty, they will come, whether we like it or not. But Jesus is teaching us something profound here. It's not the absence of the storm that brings peace. It's the presence of faith inside the storm. You don't need everything around you to be calm, in order to feel calm within you. The next time life feels like it's crashing around you, ask yourself the same question Jesus asked his disciples. Where is your faith? Lesson 6: Love people, even those who hurt you. The sixth lesson is perhaps the hardest one to practice. Love your enemies, and pray for those who persecute you. This single teaching goes against every instinct we have as human beings. When someone hurts us, our natural response is to hurt them back, or at the very least, to shut them out completely. But Jesus asks us to do something radical. Not to pretend the pain doesn't exist, but to respond to hatred with love. To respond to cruelty with grace. This doesn't mean staying in relationships that harm you. It doesn't mean allowing people to walk over you again and again. It means not letting bitterness turn you into someone you're not. It means choosing to protect your own heart from becoming hard and cold. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. Hate doesn't hurt the person you're hating. It slowly poisons you, from the inside. Love, even when it's difficult, even when it's not deserved, is what keeps your soul soft, human, and whole. Lesson 7. Trust the process, even when you don't understand it. And now, the 7th lesson. The one I told you about at the beginning of this video. Before his crucifixion, in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus was in deep anguish. He knew the suffering that was coming. And he prayed, "Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me." But then, he said something extraordinary. "Yet not as I will, but as you will." Even in his darkest, most painful moment, Jesus surrendered to a plan bigger than his own understanding. And 3 days after his death, came the resurrection. The very thing that looked like the end, the greatest tragedy imaginable, became the beginning of something greater than anyone could have imagined. This is perhaps the most important lesson for your life today. Sometimes, we go through things we don't understand. We lose jobs, relationships end, dreams fall apart, and we ask, why is this happening to me? But maybe, just maybe, what feels like your ending, is actually preparing you for a new beginning you cannot yet see. Your current pain, is not your final chapter. Trust the process, even in the darkness. Because the sun always rises after the darkest night. Conclusion. So let's quickly walk through what we learned today. Forgive, because it frees you. Stay strong in silence, because you don't need to prove yourself to everyone. Serve others without expecting anything back. Don't judge people, because everyone is fighting a hidden battle. Choose faith over fear, even in life's biggest storms. Love people, even the ones who hurt you, because bitterness only poisons your own heart. And trust the process, even when you cannot see the bigger picture. These 7 lessons were taught over 2,000 years ago. And yet, today, they are more relevant than ever. Because at the end of the day, we are all searching for the same thing. Peace, purpose, and love. If even one of these lessons touched something inside you today, I want you to take just one small action. Pick one lesson, just one, and try to practice it this week. Maybe it's forgiving someone you've been avoiding. Maybe it's helping a stranger without expecting anything in return. Small steps create massive changes. If this video meant something to you, please take a moment to like it, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and subscribe for more videos like this. Because somewhere out there, someone is going through a storm right now. And your simple share could be the light they needed. Thank you for watching. And remember, no matter how dark your night feels right now, morning is coming. God bless you.